Was that last one recording?
Sure was.
Okay, good.
Yeah, which one do you prefer? Oasis or Blur?
Blur.
What?
Oasis, I mean Oasis.
To find 50 better tunes than this, I think you can do it.
Starts with E minor, Chief.
No, it's not. It's in G.
Well, I should know. I wrote it.
What do you want to hear?
Oasis.
The next song is Whatever. And Whatever is a really pivotal moment in the sort of career of Oasis because it was a non-album single released between Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, and with the added spice of also being a Christmas single released on the week of Christmas sales, which at the time was pretty unheard of to release a song on just that week. You would usually pretty much put the whole of December if you were aiming for Christmas number one. It was a big moment for Oasis that they managed to get to number 3 on the Christmas charts. To have, you know, after your first album was only released a matter of months before, to have that sort of audacity and braggadocio and just the sheer brass balls, to use that phrase again, to go ahead and release that and put in a pretty good fighting effort to get to Christmas number 1 is pretty darn good for a newly signed band. There is parallels between them and The Darkness about 8 or 9 years later, where The Darkness had a phenomenally successful debut album and then they released a Christmas single and they actually went even closer to getting the number 1, and they still get their tune Christmas Time, Don't Let the Bells End, played every Christmas. If Christmas is ever going to be a thing anymore, they had that in the bank. But the parallel ends there because The Darkness' second album didn't even chart in the top 10 and was pretty much a disaster, whereas obviously Oasis went on to sell the biggest selling record in the UK. It's a very different Oasis song in that it builds slowly, just keeps building, and then towards the end just lets go of each element of the music, each line, each line of music, each track has been sort of stripped away until you're left with that sort of lovely string outro. Like that's a beautiful outro that it really caps off the song with and gives the song a real sort of event quality. And then of course the end with the with the crowd chant, Oasis, Oasis, Oasis. And of course, it can't really go without mentioning the fact, in fact, every bit of research I did mentioned this, and I didn't actually know this before, but Noel actually got successfully sued for copyright infringement, because somebody evidently wrote the 1 4-bar melody before, and therefore nobody else can ever use it again. That's how copyright works. They enter your head. Ideas in your head are now profitable. No one's never really mentioned any bad blood unless there's some sort of non-disclosure or something. But the original song, okay, that melody is very, very similar. There's no denying that, but that's about all it is one-line melody. And he's basically said he's a co-writer of the song. He was nowhere near the room, for fuck's sake. But yeah, as I said, it's a very different Oasis song. It doesn't sort of follow any of the tropes or any of the patterns they've been going before. Obviously, the much bigger production value, obviously a much larger recording session with such a large, an orchestra, effectively. My own opinion is I don't think it's a top 10 Oasis song, which is obviously very different than what the ranks suggest. 3 of the rankers put it in the top 10, including the users. I don't actually think it's a top 10 Oasis song. It's definitely a top 20, top 30, but not top 10. It gained a sort of legendary status because it was non-album single, and therefore it was very difficult to find before Napster. And even so, in order to get it, you had to dig out. You had to go to a record store, get them either to have the single in stock, or have them order it in and then send it out to you. Now, the benefit of that was that there's 2 fucking brilliant B-sides on it. But in my case, I had the B-sides because I had the Master Plan album. I didn't have the A-side, the whatever. So yeah, so I think the status of the song is sort of falsely elevated by all those previous factors. The Christmas single, the first new writing that Noel was able to release after Definitely Maybe. The fact it was a non-album single, the fact it was so hard to find. I think it's been elevated above maybe what it deserves, in my opinion. The B-sides, of course, will get their full go through because they are all in the top 50. So like and subscribe with the bell. A bell will ring whenever I release a new video. I've actually got the CD single here, which, as you can see, I have horribly defecated. Now, what I used to do, well, actually, there's a reprint because it's Big Brother recorded rather than creation. But what I used to do was I used to take the cover, like the cover art of the CDs, and put them on my wall, and then use the CDs to play music on. You will see that has happened to quite a few of my CDs, especially when I like them. That was Mercury Rev, Deserter Songs. The previous one was Marilyn Manson. Does mean that there's sort of no eBay value anymore, but I still haven't played the CDs because I took care of them. But I did really appreciate the cover art, which is why I wanted to set eyes on it all the time. So I had all my favourite cover art on just posters around my wall. And that's the way I acted, because I'm a fucking dweeb. Anyway, like and subscribe with the bell. Do you think it's a top 10 Oasis song? Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe with the bell. A bell will ring whenever I release a new video. You can check out my acting and my podcasting, Father Ted podcast, and just a lot of my other stuff. Acting, podcast, other stuff.